so, I mean, it was just a lot of running away, avoiding his power, avoiding his strength at all costs. And sometimes it means running away just to run for cover, so he can get to a right distance and start swinging punches, then that's fine. So Stephen Miocic had an excellent strategy, great upset victory, and so now he basically is one of the only few people who has beaten Big Country now. So excellent victory. He should be very happy, and now he's moving on to something higher now. So excellent victory there. Upset. A new heavyweight star has been born tonight. So thought I'd tell you that. Anyways, now the main event of the evening featuring Rashad Evans versus Dan Henderson. And this one was supposed to be now this was a must-win situation for either one of these men for them to move up towards the contendership for the light heavyweight title against whoever the winner of John Jones and Alexander Gustafsson. And so, anyways, the 3 rounds after the whole 3 rounds of it, because I thought it was going to be a 5-round since it was the main event, but then I guess they cut it down to 3 rounds again for whatever reason. I don't know, but in the event, after this whole 3 rounds, ended up being Rashad Evans being the winner via split decision victory. And I mean, it wasn't very impressive with either one of those guys. I mean, these guys, they performed the best they could, but it wasn't like the best main event fights I've seen. They did all right, but it wasn't like that exciting. I mean, sure, it was nerve-wracking to see who's going to pull off who, but really though, Rashad did more. Dan Henderson did some good strikes. He actually did a nice couple elbows, busted Rashad Evans up a bit. Rashad Evans hesitated a little bit, but he actually, when he was able to get some good combinations on him too. Dan Henderson would throw a nice right hand and back him up a bit. Rashad would make sure he blocks it and so forth. But definitely a different Rashad Evans than the last fight that I've seen. You know, much more improved, but still, you know, he did what he had to do. Dan Henderson was not to be underestimated either. So I can't blame Rashad Evans, but I also can't blame Dan Henderson for being as cautious as he was. But in the third round, though, Dan Henderson really didn't do much. Rashad Evans did more. He got more aggressive. He really went after him. He swung for the fences. And so Rashad Evans deserved this split decision victory. And so as far as Dan Henderson and Big Country Roy Nelson are concerned, you know, these are excellent fighters. They have done great things for the sport. But I'm actually starting to wonder, and I'm not to take it away from Stipe Miocic nor Rashad Evans, because they're excellent fighters too, definitely. But perhaps, now do you guys think that perhaps Father Time has caught up to both of these guys at this point? What do you guys think about that? I'm starting to think that could be part of the problem now. Well, let's see what happens with the next couple more fights. Now, Dan Henderson have already lost by decision as far as to Lyoto Machida and to now Rashad Evans. So what's really next for Dan Henderson? I mean, Dan Henderson was supposed to be number 1 not too long ago, and he just went down and went down and went down. And so now he's not gonna. I don't think at this point he's gonna go anywhere near contendership with John Jones. Rashad probably would more again because he really had a great fight, a great outing against John Jones, even though John Jones beat him via the unanimous decision and beat him pretty bad. Now Roy Nelson, on the other hand, he just got stopped. This is his first time in a while since he's been stopped by anybody, and he's just been knocking people out. But at the same time, like I said, has Father Time really caught up with these people? Have really caught up to these fighters? At some point, they would have to ask themselves that question. I can't answer it for them because I'm not them. I'm not in their shoes. I'm just speculating. I'm just asking questions. So, what do you guys think about it? I'd like to get some good answers about it at some point. Now, I know this is kind of like it's kind of like in a part of the subject. This is a great event, but I want to talk to you guys about something that kind of like pissed me off tonight a little bit. Now, there are some people, not necessarily in the audience or on TV. It wasn't what happened on TV. It was what happened in the sports bar where I was at. And there are basically some few people who, especially this one waitress that works at the restaurant. Now, basically, I don't know her from Adam or anything like that. I don't know if she's new or what's the story. But the thing about it is she claimed that she's a teacher and various other things too, that she works on the side as a teacher, whatever. But She and a bunch of other people sounded so ignorant tonight about mixed martial arts, especially when there was a lot of wrestling and a lot of grappling on the ground and so forth. This woman made this comment about homoerotic. I was like, what? Homoerotic? What are you talking about? Homoerotic. And so she was all talking about, how how it looks homoerotic, the way they wrestle. And I'm like thinking to myself, this stupid idiot has no idea about grappling. She has no idea about martial arts or mixed martial arts as a sport for that matter. Obviously, she's not a student of any of martial arts, or otherwise she wouldn't be talking such nonsense. And I think it just offends me that people automatically think that wrestling is all supposed to be homoerotic. I mean, there's nothing homoerotic about wrestling, about grappling, about getting your arm twisted, about getting choked out, or legs twisted, or legs bent a certain way that it's not supposed to be bent. My goodness, and I mean, and not to mention, and not just her, not just about that, but she and a bunch of other guys. I mean, she even made some comments about how ugly certain fighters were, and all this. And then, but to see the bunch of guys agree and say, yeah, he's ugly, he needs to shave, and yeah, he needs to do this. I'm like, but it's one thing to hear a woman say these kind of things, but it's another thing to hear a bunch of guys saying it. It's like, wait a minute, what the hell y'all watching here? This is the Ultimate Fighting Championship, UFC. That's what UFC stands for, Ultimate Fighting Championship, not Ultimate Fashionista Championship, not Ultimate Fashion Championship. It's Ultimate Fighting Championship, MMA, Mixed Martial Arts. It's a fight, okay? Who cares how the guy looks? I mean, this one woman made a comment about how ugly Ryan Jimmo was and all this other stuff. I'm like, y'all, what the hell y'all care about looks and whatever? Who cares? It's a fight. Whoever wins, whoever performs the most, I'm gonna like no matter what. It's a fight. This is a fight. This is not a fashion show. This is not America's Next Top Model. What the hell? I don't understand some of these fans. I mean, these fans, they go on the internet, they talk about how homo they look and all this other stuff, and on top of that, too, I mean, I've even seen on one of Ariel Helwani's interview videos where he interviewed Bob Arum, a boxing promoter, and Bob Arum goes around saying that these MMA fighters look like homosexuals when they go on the ground and wrestle. They have no chins and all this other stuff. And that just, it's like, come on, people. Obviously, if you don't know nothing about the sport, then I don't really think you have a right to say anything. Have a right to really, I mean, you guys have a right for your opinions, but damn it, at least do your research, at least know your shit before you start running your mouth. That's all I'm saying, because it's getting very irritating hearing bunch of guys saying, oh, he's ugly, he needs to shave himself and all this other stuff, or he needs to get a haircut, he needs to shave. It's like, when do you guys start thinking, some of you guys, I'm not saying all of y'all, I'm saying, when does some of you guys care about certain people's looks? And then I get criticized by some people on the internet saying that I should be shaving more, I should look better, and all this other stuff. It's like, why do you guys care about my look so goddamn much? Or anybody else's look for that matter. This is a UFC, this is a mixed martial arts commentary. This is not a fashion show. It's not all goddamn fashion, okay? And like I said, it's getting very irritating hearing a bunch of ignorance about mixed martial arts. And I have to speak up about it because, it's getting a bit too far. And I mean, you get this lady, like I said, who talks about homosexual and homoerotic, and I got to a point where I had enough of it. And I said, look, lady, you know what? And I asked her this question: have you actually wrestled in your life? Have you actually done any fighting in your life? She was all saying no. And I was like, oh, so you have not have any idea what wrestling is about? So then why are you talking about it? Why are you talking about this is homoerotic? Have you actually wrestled before? Have you actually fought and wrestled? She said, no. Then don't open your mouth about it. I mean, you know nothing about wrestling. You know nothing about fighting. You know nothing about martial arts. And I mean, trust me, it is not as erotic as you like to think, or looks, or feels for that matter. No. Anybody who has done any fighting knows that there's nothing homoerotic about any of that. Okay? Fight is a fight, and whether it's gentle or hard, doesn't matter. So I'm just basically talking to some of you MMA fans, but yet not students. If you're too ignorant to even, if you're too damn ignorant and want to criticize this and criticize that, why don't you guys just do yourselves a favor and go back to watching the Don King post era of boxing. Okay? Watch the corrupt boxing. Watch all this stuff that you're not going to see any dreams come true. Watch the Floyd Mayweather dodging Pacquiao type of boxing. All this BS. Watch that. I don't want to hear anymore this crap about homosexuality with wrestling, grappling, various things like that. It's nonsense. It's ridiculous. It's just plain damn ignorant. You guys need to stop that. Now, I'm not talking about the real fans or the real students. You all know what the sport's about. I'm not talking about you guys. I'm just talking about just a bunch of ignoramuses out there who would just go around saying, things that they shouldn't be saying because they don't know shit about the sport of MMA or the martial art for that matter. So, I just thought I'd speak my mind because I am so tired of so many people criticizing whether it's looks or how the person dresses. And, I mean, there are certain lines that need to be drawn, but at the same time, I mean, if it's a fight and as long as they're performing well, who cares? So I just thought I'd say something about it because, I just think it's just ridiculous that so many people like to talk so much about MMA fighters and MMA, and they don't know exactly what they're talking about. They think they do, but they don't. And then this person, I mean, not to perpetuate any stereotypes, but damn it, that woman was blonde, okay? That was a blonde woman right there, blonde white woman making remarks and all this bullshit. I'm not saying anything trying to stereotype, but she's just perpetuating about stupid blondes. That's all I'm saying. She was just perpetuating it. So, and after I even asked her about it, after I told her about it, she kind of went away from me and also started talking to a bunch of other guys, except she avoided everything. She avoided me like a plague because she knew damn well that if she continued to talk to me about certain things, I was going to call her out on it. And I did. She didn't like that. She just liked a bunch of guys who like to agree with her because either they want to get in their pants or they have little fantasies in their head or whatever. The bottom line is, I'm standing with Thunder Heart. I make a stand for something. Okay? And that's that's what's wrong with our society is that no one makes a stand for hardly anything anymore. Even if it's just a sport or whatever the case may be. And I made a stand. And I told her, you know what, you talk out of ignorance. You have no right to be talking this way at all about any of this stuff. You know nothing about wrestling. You know nothing about fighting, nothing. You shouldn't say a word. I don't want to hear it. So, excuse me. Any event, I've talked enough. I just wanted to say something and just let you know that if you guys, before you guys start criticizing it, do your research and know your facts. And before you find out for yourselves, before you start criticizing or whatever, okay? Seriously. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm saying. I've done martial arts. I've grappled before. I know what I'm saying. That's why I was offended. But at the same time, you just have to make a stand and let people know where you're at. So, anyway, man, I'm going to get going. I definitely have enjoyed, I pretty much enjoyed the event tonight. It's just that what I don't enjoy is just a bunch of ignoramuses who like to talk so much and don't have anything to back up. I'm not talking about the fans. I'm not talking about the real fans and the real students. So, in any event, all y'all, take care. Have a great weekend. Have a great Father's Day weekend. And take care of yourselves and party responsibly. Healing, it is all that is.